issues about this thing called life. How do you keep the flames of love burning even after being married for a very long time? In this episode, we will be given tips by a couple who has been married for 62 years. And I am a personal witness of their love and dedication to each other despite the many years of being together. They have 7 children, 14 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren. I am happy to welcome to the show George and Josie Santa Maria. Hi, Tito George. Hi, Tita Josie. Welcome to Buhay Parang Life.
Hi,
Hello,
Rita.
Rita. Thank you for inviting us.
I am grateful. I'm grateful, Tita, that you accepted our invitation. I wanted sana to tape on a weekday, pero nagtatrabaho pa rin kayo. So this is the only day that you are available. Tito, ang ganda-ganda ni Tita Josie. Was it love at first sight?
Ay, talaga naman. Tunay, tunay.
Kinikilig ako.
When I saw her, I said, that's the woman.
So, ikaw, Tita Josie, alam ko, nakapila ang manliligaw.
Nagkita kami ni Josie actually sa UP.
Yes.
Because my parents graduated there and they insisted to put me in UP.
Okay.
I had no choice.
Uh-huh.
Josie was also from Bicol.
My mother died when I was 10 years old, and my auntie and uncle who had no children of their own picked me up from Bicol.
And brought you to Manila.
Brought me to Manila.
So,
and they told me, if you want to go to a good university, UP is the one. So doon kami nakita ni George sa UP.
Sa Diliman Campus kayo nakita.
Kanya, siya love at first sight. Pero ako, tinataguan ko siya noon eh.
Ano po tinataguan
ko siya eh?
Kapakipot.
Talagang ayaw ko sa kanya eh. Talagang ayaw ko sa kanya eh.
So how did Tito George win your heart over all your other suitors? Siguro nakapila sa Diliman Campus.
Yeah. Well, I will go to that. Well, anyway, tinataguan ko siya. Pupunta ako yan sa ladies room kung nakikita kong ini-stalk ako niya eh. Papasok ako sa ladies room. And I stayed there for some time. Paglabas ko, nandoon dyan, naghihintay pa rin siya sa akin. Talagang galit na galit ko yan. I was saying, ano ka ba? Ano ka ba? Ngayon, how did I fall for him? Well, alam mo, student leader kasi si George eh. Student leader.
Uh-huh.
So, kinuha niya ako noon to fill as a position sa electoral team niya na mag-run for the student council. Siya naman, he ran also for the student council, pero siya student leader. So, he made sure he campaigned na makilala ako ng mga tao. So, lumabas nga ako. So, that's how, and then, when we were already in the student council, because I was elected also, nagkasalita ito si George. Sabi ko, ba itong lalaking ito makes a lot of sense ah.
Oh, okay.
Ay pala ako nitong lalaking ito ah. And then yung mga faculty members, palaging sinasabi, si George. So maski na mga faculty members, believe na believe sa kanya. That's how, that's how slowly, ako sa kanya, I started liking him until, yung isang beses na tinatago pa rin siya, na na rin siya, na piko na rin siya. Hindi na siya nagsustok sa akin.
Nako, na-miss mo naman.
And that's the time when I said, asan na kaya si George?
Oh.
Ganon. That's how it was.
So what were you doing? You got married in 1968, no? 6 years after meeting his
58.
1958. No, you met in 1952, 58. So nasaan kayong level? Because you rose to being high-level executives. Alam ko, si Tito George was in a multinational company in Mid Johnson. At At ikaw, tita naman, you were teaching at De La Salle College then, di ba?
Yes, yes,
Both of
correct.
you have your master's degrees. You, Tita Josie, you have a PhD in psychology. You are even an author. So at what stage did you get married? Nasaan kayo nun?
Ano ba tayo?
Well,
1958?
both of us have graduated from our respective courses,
Okay.
and I had a teaching job to start with.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt pwede na.
Pwede na.
My father's policy was he will not interfere with what or with whom we will get married. It's our choice. But the moment we decide to get married, we have to get out of the house and put up our own.
Oh, okay. So saan kayo unang tumira, Tito?
Nako, sa apartment. Nag-rent kami ng apartment. Wala kaming muebles. Naghiram kami doon sa landlady ng kanyang old furniture na naka-junk sa bodega, yung ratan.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That was the only furniture we have. We have no dining table, really from scratch. So yung barkada ko, pag bumibisita, kumakain kami, nakalagay yung pagkain namin doon sa low table.
Yes, yes. Yung parang sa living room. Oo.
Imagine yung ratan,
Yes, oo.
na glass table. Tapos yung ilalim noon, nandoon ang ulam.
Para kay Korean. Di ba ganun yung mga Korean kumain? Nasa living room, nasa low table. Oo. So, tell us, Tito George and Tita Josie, what are the challenges that you face in the first years of married life? Na pareho kayong nag-uumpisa, you are very focused on your careers. How did you maintain harmony between yourselves and the children? Kasi, Tita, I think the children came one after another. Paano nyo napagsabay? At
Actually, Rita, after 2 years In fact, yung kanyang brother and my bilas, we got married on the same date with a difference lang of hours.
Okay.
Yung bilas ko, buntis na with a second child. Kami wala pa.
Ay, hindi ka agad lumabas.
Oo. So, binibiro na nga yung mga kaibigan namin, si George, hindi marunong.
So, was there stress? Na-stress ka
So,
nun, ha?
pagkatapos ngayon, pero during the time, nagnonovena kami niyan, dalawa to pray to God to give us children of our own. So, ang saints, yung mga saints that we prayed to, were saints that had to do with children. So, si Saint Anne, yung mother ni Blessed Virgin. Pangalawa, si San Ramon Nonatus, who was born with the umbilical cord around his neck. And then si Saint Gerardo Magella.
Saint Gerard Magella is also the one I prayed to. Oo.
Ikaw din. Okay. Anyway, that's the reason why when we finally had our children after 2 years, yung firstborn namin, we named Mary Ann, Saint Anne.
After Saint Anne.
Yung pangalawang anak namin, Ramon, San Ramon Nonatus. Si Chito yan. Si Chito, kilala mo si Chito.
Si Chito, yes. And very nice.
Yung pangatlong anak namin, Gerardo, si Jerry.
Because Saint Gerard.
Ganon, Saint Gerard. So, ganon kami noon. So, yan, that's the way and then we had one after the other.
Kaya nga, Tita, kasi titingnan, so tell us how you managed that, rising in your careers, pursuing further studies, and raising children. Hindi ba dumating yung point na nagkakainisan na kayo ni Tito George sa sobrang stress? Sobrang dami?
You said it.
Stress ako noon kasi actually maganda naman kasi we were that was the time when I could get maids from the province. My father needed a maid. I would just say, Daddy, ganito, wala. Kailangan ko ng isa o kailangan ko ng dalawa. So wala akong problema noon with the care of the children.
The care of the children.
Because I was teaching at De La Salle University, I could choose the schedule.
So flexible.
I always ask for afternoon session, so that in the morning, napaliguan ko na yung mga anak, nag-sterilize na ng mga bote,
Okay.
etc. Nabigyan ko na ng instruction yung yaya. So it was very, very convenient for me. So that's how. Pero as you said, I went on to take my master's degree in UP.
Yes.
Kasi nga naman, nagtuturo ako ng college sa Lasal eh. And then after that, nagtuturo ako ng graduate school sa Lasal. Kailangan mayroon doctorate. So nagtinuloy ko pa rin yun. I remember, buntis ako niyan, wala akong kotse. I would go from Taft Avenue. I would take 2 buses to go to Diliman.
Diliman.
Oo,
Naka-traffic nun.
Naka-ano lang ako nun sa bus. Sa nakagano lang ako noon.
Nakasabit, nakatayo.
Awang-awa naman yung mga bus riders. Binibigyan ako ng lugar, a seat to use. And meantime, George naman was very busy sa kanyang career.
Kaya nga, Tito George, busy ka rin, rising executive. And how did you take the business of Tita? Was there a time that parang you were falling apart? Kasi yan ang naririnig kong problema ng mga couples na masyadong busy sa careers, they are falling apart. Ano yung nararamdaman mo na that time, Tito George, na si Tita Josie buntis, nanganganak, nagtuturo, nag-aaral? How did you take that, Tito George?
As far as I was concerned, I gave her complete freedom to pursue her career, including all her travels abroad, leaving me behind to take care of the kids.
So okay na okay sa yan? Wala
Okay.
kang naiinis, na naiiwan ka?
It was never a problem for me because I said, if it's for her own good, fine, go ahead. The opportunity is there, take it. Hindi ako siloso.
Wow, hindi selo. Ay, napakaganda ni Tita Josie. Wow, that is such a grace. I can imagine. Ang ganda-ganda ni Tita Josie. But you just let her follow her career path, no? Follow her heart.
Magkwan na ako, although sa naging busy area namin, ang isang source ng conflict namin, yung nagiging workaholic ako.
Oh, ikaw yun,
Kasi
ikaw. Oo.
He wanted me to spend more time with her.
Yan.
That was a major issue between her and me, while both of us were pursuing our respective careers.
So how did you resolve that?
It was a non-issue for her, for me to pursue her career, but for her, it was an issue.
Oo nga parang pareho naman kayong busy, but for you, it was okay. But for her, it was not okay. Samantalang busy rin siya. So how did you handle that?
Yes, because I said, I am the breadwinner, that's my responsibility. And my growing family is growing faster than normal. So I said,
Mabilis
the only way I can compensate for that requirement is to work harder so that I can exceed my sales targets and earn more commission to provide funds for the growing family.
So, Tita Josie, did you learn to accept that? Yung kabisihan ni Tito George?
Hindi, actually, alam mo, it was providential that we took the marriage encounter of the Christian family movement. Doon kami naunawaan niya yung need ko. Kasi sabi ko sa kanya, alam mo, I came from a broken home kasi namatay nga yung aking mother. And then, siyempre, iba naman yung buhay ko doon sa aking aunt and uncle.
Yes.
So ako talaga, I really long for companionship. I long for physical expression of love. So palagi nga siyang, yung sinasabi nga niyang, he had to busy himself so that he could earn more. So hindi ko maintindihan yun Kasi sabi ko, dapat priority ako, kung ano ang need ko So anyway, the marriage encounter helped us a lot.
Oh, that's good.
Nawaan niya yung aking situation ko from my point of view. Naunawaan ko rin ang kanyang situation, kanyang need from his point of view. So gano'n, napakaganda yung ME na yon. So much so that yung naging active na nga kami sa Christian Family Movement. So kung mayroon ME, ginagawa kaming gabay, gabay couple. We go through the same program again, no? Including the activities, the dialogue, and on. Kaya so ngayon that helped us make our marriage stronger.
Oh, that is good. So your marriage encounter. Now, after you retired from your careers, you put up your own consulting company. So now you are working together.
Yes,
You are
yes.
both managing the Resource of Career Systems that up to now, Tito George, you still do consulting for companies. So how did you marry being husband and wife and being professional partners? Did you have to transition or anong challenges nun? Kasi you are professional partners and a couple too.
Well, on my part, walang problema kasi when I joined the career systems, Josie was the chairman and president of the company. So, if I joined the company, she remains president and I joined as marketing director.
Okay. So, sa opisina, boss si Tita Josie. Pero sa bahay, si Tita Josie pa rin ang boss.
Actually, I never thought of myself as being his boss. We were always working together. Ang decision namin were always joined. Joined kami. Pinag-uusapan namin ng pros and cons.
Oh, so you go into a dialogue when there is a major decision to be made. Yes. So you never have to transition between, hindi, teka, ito issue opisina, ito issue ng bahay. Hindi po ganun ang nangyayari.
Ay, hindi naman. Hindi ganun. Hindi. At saka si George kasi, when I ask him to do something for me, or errand for me, he will drop naman everything. Ito na nga, it is a product of our taking the ME na nagkaunawaan kami. So, every time I needed him, hindi ko naman siya iniistorbo kung kaya kong gawin. But when I do ask him to do something for me or with me, ayan, ginagawa naman niya. So nakita namin noon na we really became a couple power.
Yes, a couple power. So, Tita, you mentioned that you are with Catholic Christian family movement through your marriage encounter. I also do know that you are very active in our parish. We are churchmates. You are active in parish. You have been PPC coordinator. You did a lot for the prison ministry. How did your faith help you aside from that marriage encounter weekend? How did your service to the Catholic Church help you in your marriage?
Well, ang nakita na namin na ang service namin na ginagawa is really serving God. Yes. God is asking us to touch the lives of people. So yung like me, for example, doon sa National Bilibid Prison, kasi nga naging we organize itong tinatawag natin na Thursday group.
Yes,
we'll have the Thursday group. Ang ano namin, ang site of service was National Bilibid Prison kasi we inherited that from Bobby de Vela. You know, Bobby de Vela, no?
Yes. You would go to Muntinlupa, Tita?
Yeah, pupunta kami sa Muntinlupa. Oo, yes. Doon yung mga talagang hardened criminals, mga namamatay tao, yung mga yung mga rapists, doon talaga.
Tita George, how did you take that? Tita going to the Bilibid prison, to Muntinlupa na puro lalaki. And syempre, kung matagal ka nang nasa prison, then there is a yearning, di ba, for a woman. Parang madali silang ma-attract sa mga babae. What made you parang let her go in spite of, what the prisoners would think, would have in their mind? Kasi I do know some women, ayaw sila papuntahin ng mga asawa nila sa Bilibid prison. Kasi na-attract yung mga prisoners.
Actually, I was ahead of them in the prison ministry.
Kasi
because the Knights of Columbus had a prison ministry group and I was made chairman of that ministry.
Okay.
So even before the Thursday group went there, I already had been going to the prison ministry, sa Bilibid Prison, and I have one adopted prisoner whom I regularly visit and dialogue. And then, so to me, okay lang yun because if they are serving God, God will take care of them. And
Yes.
through it, kahit nagkaroon ng riot, they were never harmed.
Okay. So, Tito and Tita, how do you think your service to the Catholic Church and to God's people help you in your marriage, in your partnership as husband and wife? Nakatulong ba to?
Yes, definitely. Oh. Kasi serving God through different means, no? So serving God in the family, the way you relate with your spouse and your children and your mga kasambahay, and then the way you relate with neighbors. And itong neighbors ko na ngayon, yung mga nasa Bilibid Prison. Initially, takot ako noon, na-recruit ako ni Bobby De Vela eh.
Takot ka pala noon.
Takot ako noon. So I remember the first meeting, I made sure na I was surrounded by the other women. Hindi lang naman si Bobby eh.
Yes, yes, I know, yes.
5 women. And we had Father Tito Ranyola with us.
Okay.
Do you remember Father Tito?
Of course, Father Tito, yes, Tita.
Oh, yeah. He was with us sa prison ministry initially. But when he was assigned to another parish, nawala na siya. So, ano naman, the prisoners respected us eh. We felt very safe. We felt very safe. And nakita namin doon na hindi naman pala napakasama ang tao. There is something good about each person. So nakikita namin doon yung the goodness of each of the prisoners na rinirespeto kami. They were willing to do anything that we asked them to do. Wala kaming danger. There was never any threat to our security going to the Bilibid Prison.
So you talk, Tita, about the goodness of the prisoners. So can you give us off topic? But so then, you know, the death penalty is being pushed in Congress and in the Senate. What do you think of it? Being in the prison ministry.
I'm not in favor of it. I'm not in favor. Kasi nakita ko yung mga tao, nare-reform sila sa loob ng prison eh. Yun na lang, maski na sila nag-reform, they have to finish their term of imprisonment.
Yes.
And then meron doon na nalaman namin yung there was only one instance na the one prisoner who raped his 2 daughters.
Okay.
Received the lethal weapon, the lethal medicine that eventually killed him. That was the only but from there on yata wala nang na-incarcerate, to my mind, wala nang death penalty eh.
Okay. Now tell me, Tito George and Tito Josie, what was your most exciting or discovery about each other from your courtship to married life? Kasi di ba, ang kadalasan sinasabi is, you are not the woman I married. Can you say that about Tita Josie, Tito George, and you, Tita Josie, na you were not the man I married? So ano yung mga discoveries nyo about each other from courtship? Yung bang, ay, ganun ka pala?
Well, just as a background, how I really fell in love and pursued Josie fiercely. First of all, my cousin organized a boating expedition in the Manila Bay.
Okay.
Lahat yung mga inibita niya, sabi niya, pwede kayong sumama on condition that meron kayong dalang partner. Pag wala kayong partner, hindi pwede. So, since I already was eyeing Josie, I took a chance of inviting her.
Okay.
And fortunately,
She said
her
yes.
auntie and uncle allowed her on condition that she will be accompanied by her sister as chaperone.
Okay.
That's fine. But you know that whole day boating in the Manila Bay gave me a chance to focus my eyes on Josie and really to appreciate her beauty. And I really got convinced this is the woman for me.
So was there ever a time that both of you parang wanted to call it quits? Was there
Yes,
ever a time?
yes.
Oh,
During the time I was courting her, we had a misunderstanding which talagang medyo serious
seriously.
misunderstanding that she snapped me and so I also snapped her. Nagkikita kami, alam na campus figure kami, pero nakikita ng pasahero kasama namin ibang kaklase na sumasakay siya o
Hindi kayo
sumasakay
nag-usap.
ko, hindi nagbabatian.
But when you are already married, in the 62 years that you were married, was there ever a time that you wanted to end it, to call it
To quit,
quits, to separate?
never, never, never.
Never. So,
Because I trusted the Lord that He will take care of the problem. Because He was the one who gave her to me. And she honored my appeal that I win her love. And
okay.
so, binigay sa akin yun, sabi ko, I should be ready to make the sacrifice, whatever it takes, to make the marriage work. Because when I said my pledge in 1958, I said to my wife, my full love and fidelity is for her. And
And
I said that vow that we had to recite together
yeah,
before God. And I said, if God is my witness, I have to make good what I said. And
yeah.
there is no way that can change except that.
Wow, that is a beautiful thing to say, Tito George, our fidelity to the vows that we made before God and man. So, Tito George, now give the husbands who are watching this some tips on how they can make their wives love them more every day, appreciate them, things that they can do to enhance their marriage so that even after 52 years, in love pa rin. And that love is evident to people around you. Because pwede namang matagal na mag-asawa, pero hindi na masyadong sweet. Kayo, alam ko, sweet kayo eh. So, Tito George, give some tips to the men, to the husbands who are watching now on
Okay.
how to enhance the relationship with their wife.
First of all, to me, love is a decision. It is not a feeling. And therefore, when I made a decision, I was prepared to pay for the cost of keeping that love going on. And I also believe, as one of our very close friends, who was our chaplain at CFM, he said, marriage is a sacrifice. Without sacrifice, there is no marriage. So sinabi niya, it's a given. So when you go into it, be ready for it.
Be ready for it.
And I remember that because I said, if I make my vow before God, how can I break that? I will be telling a lie to God. So therefore, I have to do something to keep it alive.
So ano po yung mga ginagawa nyo to keep it
Anong
alive?
ginagawa ko? Of course, ginagawa ko I never bear a grudge and sleep on it.
Okay.
In the early stage of our marriage, pag kami nag-aaway, nag-conflict kami dyan, nakatalikod kami sa bawat isa. Walang kiluan.
Walang
Kung sino ang sumuko, mauna siya, okay. Pero patigasan yan because we were both proud people.
So how did
Proud
you break
people,
that practice na hindi na kayo naging proud?
hindi kami nag-uusap kaya yun na-correct ng dialogue
Sa marriage.
Dialogue.
counter.
So
But it's-
dialogue between a couple is very essential to keep
Yeah.
love alive.
So, yung ginagawa ko, I learned from one past president of CFM who became a widow. And you probably have heard about Joe and Annie Maley.
Ah, yes, of course. Yes.
Very, very popular sa kanilang mga husband and wife series. When Joe Maley died,
Annie.
si
Annie.
Annie shared that it was the love letters of the husband that kept her going when she felt lonely.
Okay. So what about you, Tita Josie? What tips can you give the women, the wives watching our episode now? How do you enhance your marriage? How do you make your husband happy?
Well, first of all, ang love language kasi ni George is service eh. Ako naman quality time eh. Magkaiba.
Magkaiba. So how did you handle that?
Ang ginagawa ko, I serve him eh. Yung mga meals niya, nakahanda na yan. Yung mga hipon, inaalis ko na yung shells.
Yung pinabalatan.
All he has to do is to eat it. Then, I serve him. So, every chance I get, ginagamit ko yung love language niya.
Okay.
Ako naman, I'm quite assertive. Remember, ang love language ko, quality time.
Mm-hmm.
And George, when he is focused on work, nakafocus siya, nakakalimutan niya everything else.
Yes.
Nakakalimutan na nga niyang gutom na pala siya eh. So ang ginagawa ko, tinatanggap ko na lang yan. I would just say, wait a minute, nakakalimutan mo na yata na mayroon kang asawa. So sinasabi ko sa kanyang gano'n eh. Gano'n. And then on the part naman of George, dahil lang sa yung marriage encounter which we had taken 3 times. First time, yung first kaming dalawa. Second time, gabay kami. Third time, gabay. But we went through the different activities. Siya naman, kung ano ang nakikita niyang gusto ko, sinasabayan ako niya.
Nasabayan.
So for example, ugali ko na I would take a mid-morning nap and a mid-afternoon nap. Maski na siya may ginagawa, he will take time to go to the bed with me. Ganon. And then after that, iniiwanan na ako niya pag ako'y tulog na.
Sweet talaga. So Tita and Tito, pending in Congress is the divorce bill. And a lot of our kababayan, they want this bill to be passed. What is your stand on this?
No.
Well, sandali lang muna, Rita. One thing, to strengthen marriage. Kami, we always have romance.
Romance? In what forms, Tita? Oo.
Importante yung romance sa marriage. Like for example, ayan, George puts his arm around me. And then during the day, we kiss each other, we embrace each other.
Oo.
Yun ang romance. Ginagawa namin yan.
This day.
Ako nag-uumpisa. Basta ganun, the romance is always there. So hanggang ngayon, matandaan na kami, we are already in our 80s, ganun pa rin kami, we keep on embracing and kissing each other. Ganun.
Ang saya-saya.
So, napaka-importante na you never say na, matanda na tayo, hindi na dapat natin gagawin yan.
Yes.
It's never out of place. It's never out of time. So,
Wow.
So,
You, Tita, for telling us that.
wala kaming samaan ng loob. And then, kung halimbawa, who starts first, mayroon kaming serious disagreement, who starts first to make up. Alam mo, si George is always the one who starts. Even if I'm the one at fault.
Spoiled ka, Tita.
Alam mo, ang sabi niya, pag tinatanong siya kung bakit siya palaging nag-una, ay kasama yan sa package deal. Kasama na yun sa package deal.
Importante talaga, no? Would you say sa mag-asawa na alam mo kung ano yung package na kinukuha mo?
Yeah, ganon.
That's
So-
why we start the day by kissing each other and hugging each other tightly.
Oh, that
And
is
before the end of the day, before we sleep, we do the same. We kiss each other and hug each other tightly because we never know when it's going to be the last time.
yes.
We
Okay,
don't
so
have regrets of not having done it when it was still possible.
that is very nice to hear. What a beautiful advice to all of us, to all couples. So what about this divorce bill? What can you say about this?
Oh no, well, I don't believe in that.
We don't believe in it. We don't
What
believe
can couples who are contemplating separation, what can they do?
what can they do?
When they, first of all, couples who have conflicts and both of them are bullheaded, they need a referee. A person who is neutral
Mhm.
and who is credible to them to be an advisor or have a spiritual director.
A priest, yeah.
Spiritual.
In case of Josie and myself, what helped a lot during our conflict,
Earlier in life.
early marriage conflict, was we had a very saintly spiritual director to whom we could always go when we have problems. And he would see it objectively and point out who is at fault and who is right. So it comes from somebody who is credible. And that helped us a lot in our growth because siyempre, pag pumasok yung pride, hindi mo na nakikita yung kabila.
Yes.
But if somebody is telling you, who can look at you straight in the eye and say, this is how I see it, mas credible. And it makes it easy. As a matter of fact, yung the late Father Oscar Del Tour,
Belgian priest.
a Belgian priest, was the spiritual director of Josie.
Mhm.
And when I was courting her, she introduced me to him. And when he saw me, he told Josie, he is the right person for you. So whenever she would run to him to complain about me, he would be my advocate.
Okay, Tita George and Tita Josie, before we end this episode, instead of you telling, speaking to our viewers, because you have been doing that for the past 30 minutes, kunyari wala kami, what will you say to each other? Sige, Tito, go lang.
What will you, what,
Pakiligin nyo nga kami. Anong sasabihin nyo sa isa't isa? Kunyari wala kami.
Ako wala sila, anong sasabihin mo sa akin?
sa'yo? I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you so much, Tita George and Tita Josie, for your time.
May
Thank
mga
you for your
we are all
advices.
pero ganun pa rin kami.
Kinikilig pa rin. Pati tuloy ako kinikilig. So thank you so much, George and Josie Santa Maria, for being with us today, reminding us that romance is still possible even in after 62 years of
Correct.
being married. Thank you so much, Tito George and Tita Josie. This is your host, Rita David, reminding you today, haba-habaan po ang pasensya sapagkat ang buhay parang life.